guys from Allstate save 40% for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Hey, Seth. You getting ready to roll?
Yep, road trip. And now that I'm rolling with Verizon, I get why more people choose it.
Nice.
And I got this incredible iPhone 14 Pro on them.
Oh, love the camera. So you got an amazing network and save money doing it.
That's how I roll. Oh, no.
You lock your keys in the car again?
Yeah, I did.
Switch now and get iPhone 14 Pro on us. There's more. You get Apple Watch SE and iPad, all three on us. That's a value of up to $1,700. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Get the savings you want on the network you deserve. Verizon.
So, you found the number 7 then?
It's amazing.
Hydrates better than the expensive stuff.
I don't live here, so I'm taking this and whatever's in the back.
It's already sold in the US.
But I'm not taking any chances.
The UK's #1 skincare has crossed the pond.
Ain't nothing gonna bring my stride. Nobody's gonna slow me down. Oh no, I never keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
Wherever you are, be there with Starbucks ready-to-drink coffee.
Come on now, let's roll now, let it all out.
Easter fun made easy. That's totally Target.
Meet Febrez's Miracle Spray, Febreze Fabric Refresher. I literally use this every day to make my house smell amazing. After I make the bed, after I catch my dog on the couch, so I can wear my jacket or jeans one more time before I wash them again. It even makes shoes smell fresh. It doesn't cover up odors with scent, but actually
Welcome back to ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal. We're at the American Men's Basketball Championship in Fort Worth. DeAndre Williams got off to a hot start. See the stats, you can just look at his face to know it. 7 points for him. Kendrick Davis had 20. Memphis is drubbing the nation's #1 team. Kevin Brown, John Crispin. We'll try to tell you what that first half felt like here, but there are some FCC regulations we have to abide by. Let's just go with, oh my God.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, Penny said, look, they're in kill mode, and it certainly seems as such. And I said this really starts with DeAndre Williams because I think he's the identity of this program. It's a budding culture that's rooted in the identity of someone like DeAndre Williams, a playmaker, but great energy. He makes tough play after tough play. He plays in a way that is Memphis, right? There's no real formula. Just go out and ball. They're playing fast. Their hair's on fire. They're moving the basketball. They're hitting shots. And I'll tell you, when DeAndre Williams is playing with confidence, it lifts everybody else. And then when you get Kendrick Davis having 20 points in the first half, 7 of 12 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 4 of 4 from the foul line, he is controlling the game in every way. He moves the game, not just the basketball.
Houston's worst defensive half of the season, largest halftime deficit by any #1 team this season. Our Audi game track. Kendrick Davis, the Houston native. 1 year ago in this tournament, he was playing for SMU. He was eliminated by Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers in the transfer portal as a grad transfer. He joined Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers, and he is 20 minutes away from sealing what is currently a foregone conclusion, his first NCAA tournament bid ever, but 20 minutes away from getting there as a conference tournament champion.
I feel like a stop here out of the half is important for Houston.
Jaden Hardaway, and he'll miss a shot, but they're not going to get the stop right away. Elijah McCadden has the rebound for Memphis. McCadden had a good first half. It was all Davis, though, with 20. Make it 23!
That's just a dagger. I mean, you played good defense. The skip pass got the defense to over-rotate. They over-rotate and give up the offensive rebound that turns into another 3 for Davis.
Last 5 games, Davis is 18 for 33 from three-point range. 23 in a game, ahead of the season average of the Americans' leading scorer. Houston, without Marcus Sasser, has a miss from Tremont Mark, who's just 2 for 8.
They just don't have the same balance. Travel.
Williams turns it over.
Yeah, they just don't have the same balance. When you have multiple ball handlers, multiple guys that can facilitate a bit and they'll initiate things off the bounce, you're dangerous. The rotations are different. You know, the multiple guys that can come off a ball screen with Shed and Sasser, it's a different type of dynamic that you have to defend. Shed's going to have to do a lot. I think that's a second half. Shed's really going to have to do a lot, especially off the bounce, getting it into the paint.
He's just 1 for 7 for 4 points. Roberts leads the way with 8. Arsenault, the freshman, making his first career start, has 7. Here's Mark. Here's Arsenault. Shot fake on the 3.
Pretty.
Calmly into a 2 that's grabbed by Roberts. Roberts with his 10th rebound. Houston will work it back around to Mark.
Good scramble defensively from Memphis. It's something they weren't always good at.
Over Williams, that's way off the mark. Roberts has another rebound, and Roberts finally gets it to go.
It's a good start for Houston. Just they got on the offensive glass. They gave up one on the other end, though. They've got to be careful. Just limiting opportunities for Memphis when they're on defense.
16 offensive rebounds have only been turned into 8 second chance points. McCann, the transfer from Georgia Southern, is hooked by Mark, who commits his second foul.
Be interesting to see who can control the tempo of this second half. I mean, you heard Penny Hardaway really trying to play fast. Well, Kelvin's going to have to slow this thing down, and once he gets control of it.
Myron, what did you hear from Kelvin Sampson at halftime?
Yeah, he said, keep fighting. We got it down to 15. Let's see if we can get it down to 10. I asked him if the pace was really creating problems. He said it's not the pace, it's the turnovers that are giving Memphis those opportunities.
I think the pace is ultimately to avoid allowing Houston to set their defense. So if you just kind of cram it down their throats, force them into a transition scramble, and then keep moving the basketball, keep looking to attack, the defense never really gets set. And without Sasser on the floor, they are different. Sasser's one of their best communicators. He's one of the best on-the-ball defenders. So you take him off, and you're asking different personnel to play significant minutes. It's a lot to ask against the team in Memphis, who is on another level right now.
Free throws for DeAndre Williams. The oldest player in Division I men's college basketball, 26 years old. He's a Houston, Texas native who was hoping he would have been done by college a long time ago by now. He's had a winding journey to get here. Some time in homeschool programs, trouble with credits applying. Was going to go to a junior college. That didn't end up working out. Ended up finally beginning his career at Evansville. He would transfer from there to Memphis. He wasn't eligible initially, but since the moment he stepped onto the court in a game at Tulane a couple of years ago, everything changed with the Memphis program.
No, completely. And look, if you're diligent and you have a good attitude, it all seems to make sense in the end. And I'm willing to bet DeAndre Williams would say that. He's been diligent. He's had a great attitude about things. He lifts his team every day, and it all works out in the end.
There's Davis. Lawson a jumper. Williams or McCadden fighting for that rebound. Mark's got it. Slower shooting start to the half for Memphis, but Houston only with 2 points in the first 3 minutes. Roberts to back down Williams. Walker's had a tough shooting night, and he needs it. He was 1 for 7 before that. The freshman of the year, Jarris Walker.
And that was good patience by Roberts and Walker. Roberts just kind of working down to get that secondary defender in Lawson to just dig down a little bit to be able to give Walker an open shot opportunity. Walker was ready for it in rhythm, raises the percentage of that shot.
Davis. It's going to be Houston ball, according to Pat Adams. Penny Hardaway's calling for a review, but we're nowhere near that. It's not under 2 minutes.
It's a swizzle stick.
I think it's instinctive for a coach at this point. Ball goes out of bounds, you want a review.
You look at the crowd. The crowd does the same thing. Well, we really don't want reviews because we don't want the game to get slow and physical and boring. We want it to be fast and physical and fun.
Roberts into Lawson, got to the left. Battle along the boards is won by Memphis, and Lomax comes out of there with it after McCadden got the rebound.
McCadden's really good for them too. Terrific athlete, great length. They have the right combination of physicality, toughness, and length and athleticism.
There's an intercept by Walker.
Hey, Williams thought he got hit on the arm.
Shed. They need a basket here, Houston. Shed, and he's fouled. McCadden with his third. Memphis led by 15 at the half. They're up 14 at the under 16 of the American title game. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
In March, we move up ladders and into history. This is what you dream of. 2 words, March Madness.
Tonight, it's the event of the year, the Oscars on ABC, with performances by Rihanna, David Byrne, Stephanie Hsu and Sun Lux, Lenny Kravitz, Diane Warren with Sophia Carson, Raul Sapligan, Caleb Oriva, and more, with awards for the greatest dream makers of the year.
The Oscars. And the Oscar goes to...
Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars, live tonight on ABC.
Join me for the least athletic event of the year, the Oscars.
Who will triumph when this year's greatest movies go head-to-head?
Thank you. It's the one that always goes to overtime.
The Oscars, live tonight on ABC.
Start it up. Start it up. Start it up.
Just a little tight. Makes me feel husky. Husky like UConn. UConn Huskies with a buzzer beater to win it all.
Why are you so upset?
You know, I am upset. We're fighting. And you're Irish. Notre Dame fighting Irish pull off an upset.
Wow, a real live azure hooded blue jay. As in Creighton Blue Jays. Creighton flies through the early rounds.
The XFL gets you closer to football than ever before. Where anything could happen.
Converted on 4th and 15.
Week 5 of the XFL kicks off Thursday on ESPN, continues on FX Saturday, and wraps up Sunday on ESPN2.
1 year ago tomorrow, the American Championship game in 2022. Houston and Memphis, but the teams look unrecognizable, really. Yeah. Fabian White, Tajay Moore, Josh Carlton, and Kyler Edwards for Houston, Jalen Duren for Memphis. The Cougars would win it. Fabian White had 20 points, having played 3 minutes the day before that with a back issue. He came back and Houston won big, 71-53. Shorthanded Cougars claim their 2nd straight American championship. They've won 10 straight games at the American tournament. They've never faced a foe quite like this Memphis team.
No, this Memphis team's different, and we said they may not have the star power, the hype, you know, the lottery picks, but you've got one of the best point guards in the country in Kendrick Davis, and one of those culture pieces in DeAndre Williams. Infectious. That energy, that passion, the joy is infectious.
And of course, Houston without Marcus Sasser, Myron, who tried to give it a go, but obviously will not be playing in this game.
Yeah, Kelvin Sampson said his absence is not an excuse. Our lack of defensive intensity in the first half is on us. He said they can't look at Marcus Sasser and his absence as a reason as to why that first half got away from them. They got to refocus now, knowing one of their stars is not coming back.
I think it's a 12-point game. It's not like this is over by any means. The Houston fans get up off their feet, as the bench does as well.
Here's Williams. Lomax feeds Davis. He's taken over the game tonight, Kendrick Davis, the Houston, Texas native. 5 to shoot it, lobs into a dangerous territory. Lawson gets it back to him, and Davis throws up a brick.
Good defense, and I like that Houston's not blowing up that ball screen. Kendrick Davis is too good. He'll welcome a double, and he'll pass out of it, and they'll have an advantage.
Shed got switched on to Lawson. Arsenault, 3-ball, in and out. That would have made it a 9-point game.
The key for Memphis is don't play tight. Keep forcing the issue. Keep talking about what Penny talked about. Play fast.
Get it to Williams, who follows his own miss a little too quickly. Mark grabs the rebound away. Memphis 1 for 7 to start the half. Walker, no, in and out again. Roberts one-hands it to himself and puts it in.
There you go. Okay, we got it to 10, and I know that's kind of that cliche thing, just get it to 10, but the reality is now you feel as if you can play more possession to possession, force Memphis into efficiency and maybe less pace.
Memphis takes a timeout. They're on their feet, the Houston fans. It's starting to tighten in the title game.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow. Just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough, and it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Because this isn't just about our capability, it's about yours.
Hey, Seth. Getting ready to roll?
Yep, rolling with Ryzen. And I got this incredible iPhone 14 Pro on them.
So you got an amazing network and save money doing it.
That's right. Get iPhone 14 Pro, Apple Watch SE, and iPad. All three on us. On the network you want. Verizon.
Hi. I'm here for
your annual eye exam.
Exactly. I'm here because I'm having trouble
Reading.
Exactly.
They sort of make me feel...
Like I'm the most fabulous thing you've ever seen? Like lightning is running up and down your spine?
Exactly.
I'll take them.
Sonic now is treats under $2. Under $2. And under $3. Some of Sonic's most craveable favorites. Some of Sonic's most craveable favorites. You never know when you might need something delicious because cravings come in different sizes, just like pants. Except you don't eat pants. Sonic under $2 and $3 craves.
Sonic. What makes this time special? Have you ever seen an entire arena go cold? A nightmare that never rests. The unbelievable is everywhere. Welcome to the playoff push.
In March, we move up ladders and into history.
This is what you dream of. 2 words, March Madness.
It's worth it.
You are watching the American Conference on ESPN. Marcus Sasser not playing today, but fired up. 7 straight for Houston to slice the Memphis lead down to 10 in the second half of the title game. Kelvin Sampson's Cougars looking for a 3rd straight championship. Penny Hardaway's Tigers trying to dethrone the Kings of the conference. Myron, what'd you hear in Penny's huddle?
Well, Penny looked at his guys and he said, what are we doing? Why can't we stop them from getting every offensive rebound? Really emphasize the need to hustle and to play harder. And then he looked at those guys and he said, listen, this is where it gets hard. What are you going to do here? So he's challenging them, fellas.
He's challenging, but also Penny was so adamant about playing fast in the first half, and it's been hard to be able to keep the pace up, partially because Houston's gotten some baskets to go, right? You get a basket to go, you get your defense set.
Houston with 17 offensive rebounds. Memphis with a 10-point lead, closing in on 14 to play in the American title game. Lomax cut off by Walker. Williams with a whole host of Cougars around him, and a good possession out of the timeout as Memphis gets Williams to the line.
But that's why I think the zone has been good for Houston. It's been able to slow the game down. And by slowing the game down, you're limiting the rhythm and the swagger and the edge that Memphis played with in the first half. Almost as if you can make it a your turn, my turn kind of basketball, where that's where Houston will thrive in this game. They don't want this up and down. Not with Memphis the way they've been playing.
Fifth-year senior Williams at the line, a Houston native. That's the first. Spring season is in full swing. Here's what we're featuring on ESPN Plus for the American Conference. More than 170 softball games, more than 210 baseball games, and more than 50 women's lacrosse games. If you're an AAC fan and you don't have it, sign up today at ESPNplus.com/AAC.
No offense to lacrosse and baseball, but softball is one of the best watches on television.
Hey, you know I agree with you.
I know it. It's
I'm spreading
awesome.
the gospel of softball. Here's Mark into the lane. Got cut off by Dandridge. Arsenault passes up the 3. Arsenault hits the 2.
Big. You're starting to get Memphis to scramble a little bit by getting guys into the paint. Gets guys into the paint. That defense collapses. Play out of the kick out. Long closeouts lead to drive and kick or pump fake opportunities.
First time it's been single digits since 26-18. Williams again. They get him in the post. Williams fouled by Walker, who's picked up his second and third on successive possessions.
And Williams does a good job cutting to that open spot. I think he's, at this point in the game, it's a 9-point game. If you get into a spot of vulnerability for the defense, you've got to be more deliberate, right? Now, he can be loose with it. Watch the ball. He kind of brings the ball high, like rip through, be deliberate at this point in the game, particularly in those areas of vulnerability for the Houston defense.
Reggie Chaney replaces Walker. 6th man of the year in for the freshman of the year. And Chaney's immediately on the ball, and Williams. Double comes against Dandridge. They call this the monster set when they double the big. He gets it out to Lomax. Floater off the iron. Fight for the ball. Wrestled away by Chaney. Ripped it out of the hands of Dandridge. Here comes Shed.
Basket here, and the roof's going to come off.
Mark. Arsenault, uncontested offensive rebound. It's Shed. It is a 6-point game. Arsenault saved the possession, and Shed bringing Houston back to life.
And Houston's really gotten Memphis to chase, and Kelvin Sampson, the emotions on that side of the floor starting to level up to what we saw from Memphis in the first half. This zone has been disruptive. In terms of the rhythm, it's been disruptive.
That's a foul against Shed. They can't believe it.
Oh, this is getting good, isn't it? This is getting really good. Again, you get made baskets and get set up in this zone. Memphis was thriving when they were able to get stops, rebounds, and then play fast downhill, get quick shots, and almost have Houston chase the game. It's been a lot different with Houston getting on the offensive glass again, kind of imposing their will and identity on the game, and then getting that defense set, where Memphis doesn't have that same rhythm and edge and swagger that they had in the first.
Foul's been changed to Mark. That's his 3rd. Williams will take a seat. Memphis led this game by 20 in the first half.
Interesting lineup for Memphis.
Really is. Lawson and Dandridge, the bigs.
By interesting, I mean challenging for Kendrick Davis.
Oh, he draws Mark's 4th foul.
Wow.
That is a big one.
He's so smart. He's so smart. He knows it. He knows he's got the matchup. That's why Mark was trying to do such a good job of not allowing Kendrick Davis to get the catch. And yeah, he's got his hand in there. Yep. Oh, he wants kind of maybe the hook and hold. If Kendrick Davis did in any way lock arms with Mark, that's a smart play.
Kelvin and Kellett Sampson are talking about it with Doug Shows. Emmanuel Sharp is going to check into the game. But it's Davis at the line where he lives. It's 5 for 5 today. Davis with 25, the all-time leading scorer in the American Conference, who's now set a record for most points in an American Conference tournament.
Well, I like this too, picking up and pressuring. They want the ball in Sharp's hand. They want him to handle, and Lomax is going to pressure.
As good an on-ball defender as there is in the league, and maybe the country. And Lomax is all over Sharp. Kelvin Sampson wants a foul, and now they'll get it. Yeah. They got it late from Pat Adams. It's on Lawson, and it's his third. Memphis only with its second.
I mean, Lomax smelled blood with Sharp having that basketball. I love the double. When Shed got the ball, they doubled to get it back into Sharp's hands. Just a smart play, and that's going to be Lawson, I don't know, over the back, I guess.
Lomax hounds the ball even to the back.
I mean, without Sasser, you work to get it out of Shed's hands, and I think you have an advantage as a defense.
Pull up three.
Bucket! You got to get it out of his hands, no question. No question, you got to get it out of Shed's hands. He's going to take over this game.
Oh, nobody guarded Davis. Absolute misfire, and they get away with it. Lomax saves it, though, to Dandridge. Davis on Arsenault, crossing the freshman, floating it to Hardaway. No good. Tipped by Roberts. Davis has another. Davis down the lane, left it short. Dandridge, fourth shot of the possession. Finally, Memphis gets a hoop.
Look, there may have been a whistle there. I don't think anyone would have heard it. There were bodies all over the floor. I feel like that's how the last 11-11 are going to go.
The lead swells back to 7. Dandridge with 4 points and some big minutes off the bench. Shed slicing. We've got a foul. Doug Schaus has the foul on Lomax, and it is going to be 2 shots for Shed when we return.
Part of leveling up in the game is obviously matching toughness, matching physicality, but it's also matching the energy, and the bench reactions matter. Shed hits a huge, huge shot at this point. Kind of get back into the game, and there he is, the leader himself, Marcus Sasser, up off his feet, as is everyone else.
A decade of power performance. And a vision for a powerful future. This is the American Athletic Conference.
Find out where that road leads. Take on any challenge. When you have the #1 brand in dependability, you stop thinking about what you can't do and start doing what you never thought possible. Kia, movement that inspires.
Kids are so expensive, Dad. Now Katie needs braces.
Maybe try switching your car insurance to Progressive. You can save hundreds.
I don't know, Dad.
Maybe try switching your car insurance to Progressive. You could save hundreds.
It's a great idea, TV Dad.
But I said the exact same thing.
Someday when you're a father, you'll understand.
I'm his father.
It's not a competition.
Listen to your TV Dad. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $700 on average.
Start it up. Start it up. Start it up. Start it up. Allow yourself to go back. What do you hear?
Buzz. 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 Buzz.
Kidnapping, cults, death. Your friendships are a little more complicated than most.
ESPN Sunday NBA matchup. It's the Lakers against the Knicks, led by former Houston star Quentin Grimes.
That's right.
This guy will be locked in at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. Red hot Lakers against the Knicks, who move first to fifth in the East. ESPN and the ESPN app. Quick clarification for Pat Adams. There was a foul a few possessions ago, which we thought was on Jamal Shed. Then it was given to Tremont Mark. That's been corrected. It was on Shed. So Mark only has 3, and Shed has 2. That's a big deal.
Glad they got that right.
With 11:03 to go, they don't bring Mark into the game right now, but he's only on 3 fouls, so likely he'll return soon.
I was doing my best to follow the conversation with Pat Adams, but I did a lot of the head nodding, like yep, and hoping you got the actual.
Well, the guy was boogieing on the screen.
Yes.
So 2 free throws for Shed, who Kelvin Sampson calls their most valuable player. Junior from Maynard, Texas. When you think about where Jamal Shed was at the start of last season, he was buried. Marcus Sasser was set to break out, and Sasser ended up with a toe injury that knocked him out for the season in late December. Houston had all kinds of injuries, including Tremont Mark, who missed all but 7 games last season. Shed was maybe the 4th string guard, ended up as the starting point guard on an Elite 8 team. And without Marcus Sasser today, Jamal Shed is trying to lead Houston back from the dead. 10 points in the second half, and the Cougars are as close as they've been in a long time.
Yeah, I think Houston has almost changed how Memphis feels about themselves at this point. Memphis just hasn't been as confident.
That's Hardaway. That's way deep. Robert snatches his 15th rebound.
You're going to get that shot, but that's not the one you want. You got to move it, still probe inside. Get short corner and cut off of it.
Shed against Williams, playing with confidence. Arsenault, he'll take it. He'll miss it. And it's Williams soaring in for the rebound. Lomax with an oncoming Arsenault will hold the ball.
Good job of Houston getting on the offensive glass, but also being patient, getting back defensively. I think you got to get Williams inside here as best as possible. Kendrick Davis needs the ball. He can move people and get the ball into areas that others can't.
Walker trying to body up Williams. Out to Lomax. Lomax, Williams, open 3. It's good! DeAndre Williams, the answer.
But again, it came from DeAndre Williams kind of probing a bit off the bounce, drawing defense in, kicking out to Lomax. Then Lomax has the long closeout. He attacks, kicks back out to Williams.
Double-double for the first team all-conference player. Arsenault try to take Lomax, and Arsenault does not win that battle. Roberts keeps it alive. Sharp on the deck, getting hugged from behind by Hardaway, and it's a foul on Jaden Hardaway.
Oh man, this is 50-50 balls are going to feel like a battle. I always joke and say that there's no 50-50 balls when you play Houston because they're more like 80-20 balls. They get most of them, but against Memphis, these 50-50 balls, they're going to battle it out.
Second foul on Hardaway, and Franklin replaces him. Mark back in the game for Arsenault.
I think Sharp is going to grow up a lot in this game. You're going to have to.
How could you not?
I feel like I'm going to grow up in this game.
Growing gray hairs just being on the sideline. Sharp. Nope. Walker and Roberts are there. Roberts gets another rebound. That's 16. What a presence he's been. They'll set the hard screen. Shed drives it into Dandridge. Lost it. And it's last touch by Shed. And Memphis gets the turnover.
Like, if you're going to commit to the ball that much, you've got to have those active hands. That's it. Kendrick Davis understands Dandridge is coming over. Who'd that go off of?
I think it hit Shed in the head on the way down.
Well, they got it right?
Yeah.
Are you questioning the officials?
You said who'd go off of. You asked me a question and I answered.
Have you done that job before for you to question?
You asked me a question. What do you want me to do? You've said on air to me there are no rhetorical questions that you're asking me.
You're getting really defensive, Kevin.
I thought I finally got the hang of you after 3 years. My gosh.
Just poking the bear over here. The baby bear.
Little cub.
Yep. Just a peaceful cub.
Little Jersey cub. Davis for 2. A 1-and-1. It's always 2, you assume, with Davis, who's an 85% free throw shooter.
I think the challenge for Memphis now is you're going to have to almost downshift and play at a different speed, be more calculated, be more deliberate with the basketball, operate a little bit more. All things that they didn't really have to do in the first half when they were thriving. It's going to be a little different. But the idea is win the game, right? You know, in a way, the first half is where you beat your opponent. Now win the game.
The lead was down to 5. Memphis has pushed it back to 10. Under 9 to play in the American Championship game.
But don't play not to lose. That's the worst.
Memphis hasn't won a conference tournament title in 10 years as Roberts is fouled by Dandridge. That's Dandridge's second. Roberts will shoot 2.
It's good foul, great execution. Jamal Shed, nice little pocket pass on the screen and roll. Really no screen at all. And I think this takeaway and easy 2, make a murder at the free throw line. It's smart. It just feels like the last 8:48 or take something out of everybody in here. Yep.
You wonder how much the last 11-12 took out of Houston.
Yeah, you're right. It's a good point. Kind of getting back into it, but it's different. You get a new life when it gets close. So it's almost as if you forget all about it. You get new life. It's hope.
Roberts misses 2. He is 2 for 6 at the line today. Now it's a really good foul that Dandridge committed. Lomax.
All right, now you can play the matchups because they're in man.
Lomax hands off Dandridge, too strong. Fight for the ball. It's Roberts again. That's 17, a new single-game American tournament record.
Nice play by Lomax, but I don't think there's a possession that Kendrick Davis doesn't touch the ball.
There have been a few of those of late.
Yeah, he should at least touch it and watch what the defense does around him.
Shed sets up Walker. 3 ball. Yes, sir.
Yep. That pick and pop is there. They've been late. Memphis has been a little late on that ball screen coverage. At times they're flat. Sometimes they come up. Maybe it's kind of anything goes. But Walker shot it well. Not there.
Low pass. Walker's on the deck. Walker gets rid of it to Mark.
When you're throwing low passes to Dandridge, that's a tough catch. Again, Kendrick Davis has to be the guy.
2 straight possessions. He hasn't touched it. Walker got Dandridge in the air. Down the lane. A wild shot. Davis is going to touch it now. Davis is going to go all the way, and then Roberts deflects it out of bounds, and we can catch our breath with 7:32 remaining and a title on the line.
Yeah, catch your breath, tighten the shoulder pads, lace the shoes up. Holy smokes, this is going to be one heck of a finish. You've got to get to this action more often. Little pick and pop, kind of slip screen. Walker's been good from deep.
In March, we move up ladders and into history. This is what you dream of. 2 words. March Madness.
Tonight, it's the event of the year, the Oscars on ABC, with performances by Rihanna, David Byrne, Stephanie Shu and Sun Lux, Lenny Kravitz, Diane Warren with Sophia Carson, Raul Sapligan, Caleb Oriva, and more, with awards for the greatest dream makers of the year.
The Oscars. And the Oscar goes to?
Jimmy Kimmel hosts the Oscars, live tonight on ABC.
Join me for the least athletic event of the year, the Oscars.
Who will triumph when this year's greatest movies go head-to-head?
Thank you. It's the one that always goes to overtime.
The Oscars, live tonight on ABC.
Start it up. Start it up. Start it up.
It's a little tight. Makes me feel husky. Husky like Yukon.
UConn Huskies with a buzzer beater to win it all.
Why are you so upset?
You know, I am upset. We're fighting, and you're Irish. Notre Dame fighting Irish pull off an upset.
Wow, a real live azure hooded blue jay. As in Creighton Blue Jays. Creighton flies through the early rounds.
The XFL gets you closer to football than ever before. Where anything could happen.
Converted on 4th and 15.
Week 5 of the XFL kicks off Thursday on ESPN, continues on FX Saturday, and wraps up Sunday on ESPN2.
And they've been playing zone.
Arizona wins for the second straight year the Pac-12 tournament title. The Texas Longhorns win it here in Kansas City.
The Duke Blue Devils will win the ACC Tournament Championship for the 22nd time.
March is here.
Just 2 more tickets left to punch as part of this amazing Champ Week. The Big Ten going on right now between Penn State and Purdue, and here at the American in Fort Worth. Memphis and Houston. We have you covered tonight. We'll see where these teams end up on Selection Sunday. Sports Center as the brackets are revealed at 6 Eastern, 5 Central, followed by Bracketology, the women's selection show, and Bracketology, the field of 136 on ESPN2. Kelvin Sampson's team will be a #1 seed. We know that. Memphis looks likely to be on the 8 or 9 line, and they are not thinking for 1 second about that seeding right now with the American Tournament Trophy on the line.
I just can't wait to see that team that they stand up and go, yay, we got that. And then they announce Memphis, and they're like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
They're going to be underseeded wherever they are, is my prediction. Roberts tips the inbound pass, a steal for Shed, and Davis stopped
What
the break.
defense. Dude, you have no idea how hard that is to stop someone full speed. You want to talk about a cornerback in defense, that was it.
Without fouling 2, and now here's Davis, who can be a one-man break. Williams slips inside.
Big.
Mark Williams with 14.
Really big. They haven't been able to get much in transition, and that started with Kendrick Davis. I'm going to have to go back and show that. Kendrick Davis stopping that transition opportunity with Shed. That was, like, honestly, the best cornerback in football I've ever seen.